Hi, I'm Heather with Goin Batty, and today I am barefaced in my room. I've had several people compliment me on my makeup and how I look, and actually this was actually Kevin's idea. He was like, well, maybe you should do a video on how you get ready. So this is a video on how I get ready. Going to be kind of, you know, when I'm really wanting to look nice, but you know, things that you need to know are, you know, what is your skin type? Do you have oily skin? Do you have dry skin? I have relatively oily skin, especially like right here around my forehead and in my nose, and right around the edges here and on my chin. So the rest here is pretty normal. So you know what your skin type is. So the first thing that I want to let you know is that I do not buy expensive makeup. I don't go to, you know, the expensive makeup counters at the department stores and stuff like that. Everything I own is drugstore. Everything. I find that what I have here works well. The foundation that I use, Physicians Formula, sorry, Healthy Foundation, and it has an SPF in it. I wear an SPF because I don't, you know, want to get my face sunburned. So I'm just going to dot this on. I don't like really masky foundations that are super full coverage. I don't need them. I have relatively good skin. Now, if you have problems with acne, scarring, and stuff like that, you may need something that's a little thicker, like maybe a good one is Revlon Color Stay. That one is pretty full coverage. You know, and that one can be picked up at the drugstore. So I'm just going to kind of dot this on the places that I usually need it the most. So like under my eyes. So this is a sponge that I got. I think it's called a Real Technique sponge. $5. So not very expensive. So and it lasts me a really long time. So I'm just going to kind of blend that in. I like this foundation because it's not like super, it still looks like my skin. I'm not super heavily made up. So we're gonna just kind of now pull this out to the outer edges of our face and just kind of blend it in, and kind of blend it into your hairline a little bit. I try to use like the edge that doesn't have so much makeup on it, because I do have gray hair and I don't want to blend it into my gray hair so my hair looks peach. So, and you want to make sure you go down your neck too, and over and onto your ears, so you don't have that line where your makeup ends. You just don't want that. That's not pretty. So now I've got that on, and I want to make sure, because like I said, I'm not 20 years old, that like especially under my eyes where you tend to have your laugh lines and stuff like that, that I've got it just kind of pressed in. And one of the reasons that I use a sponge too, because I feel like it's much gentler on my skin. It's not pulling and tugging. So I've got that all on, and let's see, next I'm gonna do just a little bit of concealer, and I pick a concealer color that's actually a little lighter than my skin, because I want to kind of brighten up some dark areas, because I do get dark circles under my eyes because of allergies. So I just put just a little tiny bit, not a lot. And then the other place that I put it is like when you smile, like right in here, I'll put it there, because that can tend to get kind of dark, but just a little bit. Like right here, I'm just going to blend that in, and that's just going to lighten that area up just a little bit. Not a whole lot. It's not going to be like white, but just a little bit. And then I'm going to go under my eyes, and I like this makeup sponge because it has a little tip here, and you can kind of pinch it in and then go under your eyes right here. And the concealer that I used is from Wet n Wild. Yes, that's the brand that you used to get when you were in middle school, because it was super cheap. And I think that it cost me like maybe $3 or $4. Not a whole lot. And it works really well for me. Yeah, so there. So that's all blended in. So my under eyes are covered, and right here is a little brighter so it doesn't look so sunken. Please use an eyeshadow primer, and if you don't know what that is, because I have super oily eyelids. If you don't have that problem, you won't have this problem. But this is a company I use. It's called NYX, NYX, and it's called Proof It, and it's a waterproof eye primer. And I'm using this because I'm actually going to a funeral. So if I cry, I don't want everything coming off. This primer is kind of skin colored, and I'm just gonna smooth it on here so it's gonna keep my eyeshadow from moving places. And then I'm going to put on, Maybelline makes these, they're little cream shadows in a pot, and $5, $6 maybe. I like these because it gives my eyeshadow something to stick to. If you look at my eyes are slightly hooded, which means you can't really see some of my lid because my crease kind of covers it, and that happens with age. I don't remember my eyes being as hooded as they are when I was a lot younger, but I don't wear super shimmery colors all over my eyes. The only place that I wear like shimmery colors is right on my eyelids. So I'm going to go ahead and I just use my finger for this, and I use my ring finger because it's kind of your weakest finger, and I'm just going to pat this on. So I'm going to do the other eye. There's just a little bit of lightness there. The company Wet n Wild, the ones that, you know, girls, if you're my age, if you remember, you go to the drugstore and they had super cheap makeup. They have some really great eyeshadows that I really like. But this one, I believe, is called Comfort Zone, and it's got a lot of really pretty neutral colors right here. Those are the ones that I use the most. Here, I'll open it up because it'll probably be better if you see it like this. So if you see that, there's a lot of pretty neutral colors. There's actually like a really pretty green. I'm going to use, I have a brush here. I got this, again, I got this at Walmart. I got it in the clearance section for $1. Probably 6 years ago. I wash my brushes a lot, you know, so I don't get an eye infection or whatever. But I'm going to take this color right here, which is a matte color. It doesn't have any shimmer in it. And I'm going to put it in my crease. So I always start with my crease first because that helps define the shape of my eye. And I always knock off, because they can be a little powdery, I knock off the excess. And now I'm going to see if I can get close enough so you can see this. I'm going to put this color in the crease. And this big fluffy brush kind of helps disperse it so it's not all like in one place. And I kind of bring it over to almost to the edge of my nose, because that actually helps my eye look just a little bit bigger. Alright, so there I've got both of my creases done. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take this really pretty kind of peachy shade right here, and I'm going to put that kind of all over my lid, and I'm going to do that with my finger. I find that it works better with my finger than with a brush. So I'm just going to put that on there, and you're just going to kind of pat it. So now you can see there's kind of a pretty wash of kind of, it's not super, rarely do I ever wear really metallic-y colors. It's just got kind of a sheen to it. So it kind of brings light to that area of my eye. And then next I'm going to take, I have this little brush here. I got this at CVS. It came in a 2-pack with, let me see, this guy here. So, and I'm going to use this to kind of do a little more work in my, like the deeper part of my crease to kind of give my eyes a little more definition. So I'm going to take actually this darker color right down here, and I'm going to use that really lightly. So I'm actually going to stick it in my crease this time. So I'm not taking this color all the way in to the edge. I'm kind of stopping like midway, like right here. And if you can see, I've brought it out just slightly past my natural crease line to kind of pull my eyes up a little bit, because as you age, your eyes start to droop. So it kind of pulls it up just a little bit. Right now I'm just deepening the outer edge a little bit. And you're probably thinking, that's a little, it's a little dark. Now I'm going to take that same brush that I worked with my crease, and I'm just going to kind of blend everything together so it's really soft looking, so that there's no harsh edges. Then I'm going to take that same brush with the leftover color, the deeper color in my crease, I never eyeline under my lash line. For me, I feel like it looks too harsh, so I never have just a, you know, strip of eyeliner there. I always use the eyeshadow that I used in my crease. And now I'm going to actually take my face powder, and I'm going to use it to kind of blend everything in right below my eyebrows, and that will soften everything up. So my next step is, and again, this is because of my age, I'm going to take my sponge again, and I'm going to go under my eyes, because sometimes your concealer can settle in your wrinkles. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to pat it out, and then I'm going to put some powder under there so it doesn't crease up on me. Now, you might laugh at this, because some of you may remember your grandmother having this on her vanity. This is the powder I use. It's the Coty Airspun powder. I remember my great-grandmother having a cardboard box of this. It sat on her vanity when she lived in the retirement community, and it does have a little bit of grandma smell to it, but this stuff is actually wonderful. It works really, really well. We're going to take our little sponge and kind of just press in there and kind of look up as you do it, because that'll kind of stretch the skin a little bit. And like I said, I like the sponge because I'm not pulling and I'm just tapping. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my powder and kind of look up again, just one more. And just kind of tap under there really lightly, and just powder under my eyes just a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead, and like I said, because I am slightly, well, not slightly, I can be really oily, like right in here, right in my forehead, nose, right around the edges of my nose and on my chin, I'm going to take a powder brush. And again, this powder brush was $3. This one here came in a set, and I think I paid $7 for the entire set. It had like 4 brushes in it. So sometimes your tools are what make your makeup look better. So this was from a company called Elf, Eyes, Lips, and Face. They make some really great brushes. A lot of my brushes are from them. Most of them are between $1 and $3 or $4. So I'm going to get some powder on my brush, not a ton, and I'm going to tap off most of it because I don't want to look super powdery, but I do have to do just a little bit in here. And I'm just going to lightly press it. I'm not going to brush it. I'm going to press. So just right there in the center of my face. And then with what's left on the brush, I'm just going to kind of set everything else. I just did my powder as I'm getting ready to do eyeliner and mascara. Now I will line my top line, but I don't, like I said, I usually use just eyeshadow down below because it's much softer and it's not super harsh. And the other thing too is I rarely ever use black eyeliner. For me, black is just super harsh looking. And again, I think for my age and because of, you know, my eyelids and stuff like that, I don't need a black. I'll use a black mascara, but I don't ever use black eyeliner. Exposition's Formula Eye Booster eyeliner, and the reason I like this is because if you can see, where is it? That tip. This is actually a brush. It's not a felt tip, it's a brush, and it goes on so much better than like the little, like almost like inkwell that you have to pull out and do that. I always have problems with that. I feel like it gets way too much product on there. So, and I use this because it's on better. But I'm going to try it, and if it doesn't work, I may have to switch to another one because this one is pretty much out. But this is my absolute favorite because of that brush tip, and it's not a felt tip. So we're going to see. So when I put my eyeliner on, I try to stay as close to my lash line as I can, and then when I come to the edge, I make it just a slight bit thicker. I don't do a big wing like, you know, those 1960 wings. I don't do that, but I do want to kind of lift my eyes up this way a little bit. So we'll see if this works. If not, I might have to switch to another one. So if you see, I've stayed as close as I can to my lash line, but now as I'm getting, and I don't go all the way to the edge because my eyes are starting to droop down a little bit, I'll get just before I get to the edge, and then I'll thicken it up just a little bit. There, just like that. I don't know if you can see that. So now I'm going to do the other eye. I am going to go ahead and do like my cheeks and stuff like that, put some blush on. So I have this little palette here. It's from e.l.f. I think it cost me $8 and it has 4 different colors. I really like these colors in it. They're really soft. I don't use very loud, bright blushes just because I don't care for that. Little blush brush here. And again, this is another one that only cost me like $3. And I'm going to take this, there's a darker kind of peachy color here in the corner. And it looks like this one might be a bronzer and a highlighter. I don't use those a whole lot. But I'm going to take the darker peachy color. And I'm going to use that on my cheeks. I don't put it like just right on the apples of my cheeks because my face is kind of rounder. I feel like it makes my face look bigger. So I actually do it a little more old school where you put it just a little higher up on your face and you kind of keep it here and then kind of work it back. And I don't smile because when you smile, like the apples are up here, but when you keep your face down, it'll actually show. When you smile, your blush will actually drop and sit lower on your face. That's why I don't smile when I do it. And I tend to work with smaller brushes just because I can kind of pinpoint where I want everything to go. So I put most of it here and then I'm pulling the rest of it back this way a little bit. And then with what's left, I'll just kind of blend out the edges towards the bottom so it's not this streak of pink. I always knock off the extra too because you don't want it like blush. So there, I've got like a really pretty kind of flush on my cheeks. I'm going to go ahead and curl my eyelashes. Now, if this is not a necessary step for you guys, don't do it. You don't need to. Like I said, I have eyelashes that want to grow in this way instead of out that way. So that's why I do this. And you're going to kind of want to don't pinch the skin on your eye. I really actually hate these things, but they're necessary evil right now. And you're just going to give it a couple little squeezes, just like that. And so now my eyelashes are going this way instead of wanting to go in that way. And now, because I'm going to a wedding, not a wedding, to a funeral, I'm going to wear a waterproof mascara. I don't wear it all the time. I feel like that it can make your lashes kind of brittle. But I am going to wear it today. So this one is from L'Oreal. It's the Lash Paradise. Pick whatever works well for you. And here's the thing. I don't see any reason to buy a high-end mascara because there are a lot of great ones at the drugstore. This one, the Lash Paradise, I love. And then I have this one from Maybelline. That is the Total Temptations. I really like this one too. This one is not waterproof. That's why I'm not wearing it today. I'm going to go ahead and put my mascara on and you can get to see my weird mascara face. I'm going to start kind of at the base of my lashes and just kind of wiggle it up. And then I'm going to do my lower lashes, and that's when you get the weird face. Then I like to get the outside corners and just kind of pull them out this way to make my eyelashes kind of go up. There's one eye done. I'm going to move on to the next one. All right, so that's all done. And the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put my lipstick on. One of the lipsticks that I found that I really like is this Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink lipstick, because I only have to put this on once and it doesn't go anywhere. Now, this one, there is a little bit of a learning curve to it. What I'll do is I'll just kind of take the little tip. I'll show it to you. Kind of clean it off a little bit, but if you see that, it's got a little pointed tip on it. And I'm going to just go along the edges, and then I'm going to fill everything in. But the reason I like this is I only usually have to put it on once a day. That's it. And then I feel like I'm saving money because I only have to put it on once a day. And I'm going to start right here at my Cupid's bow. And then just pull it out. And the nice thing with this is, like, if you're a person that needs a lip liner, you won't need one with this. All right, so I have that on now. I'm going to rub my lips together, and then I'm going to take my finger and I'm just going to kind of smooth out the inside of it, because sometimes you can get that very defined line, and I don't like that. And I'm just going to let that dry now. And that is pretty much it. I am done. I'm gonna go pull my hair back, put my sweater on, and get ready to leave. But that is how, you know, I kind of get ready for something a little fancier than just normal everyday stuff. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you have any questions, I'll answer them. And more updates as we go. Bye.